The men's doubles game delivers some of the most spectacular action the sport has to offer. Skill and tactics aside, the outcome of matches are often decided by how well players are in sync with their partners. Thailand's Bodin Isara and Nipitphon Phuangphuapet are an example of a pair reveling in their partnership. Runners-up at last year's Yonex Denmark Open and Yonex French Open, the country's top men's doubles act is growing from strength to strength since their debut in 2015.
We are playing better together and we continuously encourage each other. It was a matter of just getting out there to play and enjoy the game. When we're able to do that, the performance will reflect that. We don't expect much from each other than that.
I like to tell myself to just enjoy the game as I don't want to put pressure on myself. If I do put pressure on myself, I will not play well.
We were in the land of smiles recently to find out how things were coming along for the world number 17 duo. It may have taken Bodin and Nipitphon over a year to show some solid progress, but their recent achievements are commendable, given that the former had only just returned to top-flight action after serving a 2-year suspension. In 2013, Bodin was involved in an unfortunate on-court altercation with a former teammate that resulted in an international ban. Sitting out of competitive badminton hadn't been easy, but the painful experience has made him treasure his beloved sport even more.
I had to stop playing for 2 years, so I turned to coaching instead during that period. When I saw my friends playing in the national team, it made me want to return to playing. I would want to know if I could still cut it at the international level. When my suspension was over, I was selected back into the national team and I realized I could still play. I was delighted to be back playing in the national team because it proved that I was still good enough. During my suspension, it was hard watching my national teammates going to tournaments and I couldn't. Knowing that I used to be one of them, going to tournaments, it wasn't easy for me. I was waiting to make my comeback and when I did, everything was back to normal and I was happy.
It was April 2015 when Bodin made his long-awaited comeback, joining forces with Nipitphon at the Sky City New Zealand Open. They didn't make it past the second round, but both players took heart from their first outing together.
I was excited because I was competing again after serving such a long ban. At the start, I had high expectations, but we lost out to the Chinese pair. We hadn't combined well yet as our partnership was new. Even so, it was a narrow defeat.
I also had ambitions to go far. For Thailand, we only have a couple of men's doubles pairs out there, so I wanted to do well. When the pressure was too much, our performances didn't turn out well. So we helped each other improve and our performances steadily got better.
Although Bodin and Nipitphon knew they needed time to gel, it wasn't long before they saw results. 5 months into their partnership, the Thais celebrated their first triumph at the Babolat Kharkiv International. The Bahrain International Challenge title followed, and the Rio 2016 Olympics was within reach. Despite chasing hard for a spot in Rio, the Thai men came up short in securing a ticket to Brazil. Missing out on badminton's biggest stage was tough, but the pair weren't about to wallow in despair.
When we won in Ukraine, we began to believe more in ourselves. We didn't need to go through qualifying rounds anymore when we competed at World Superseries tournaments. However, that year was the Olympic qualification period, so whichever tournament we went, the matches were very tough. When we didn't make the cut, I was disappointed. But at the end of the day, life goes on, so we continued with our training. There are many more tournaments out there we could compete in. The Olympics is huge and it may be the ultimate goal, but we needed to look forward to other tournaments for us to stay competitive.
อาจจะเป็นที่สุดของชีวิตแต่ว่ามันก็ยังมีรายการอื่นให้เล่นอีกครับผม
With the pressures of qualifying for Rio over, Bodin and Nipitphon regrouped and focused on enjoying the game once more. It worked wonders as the Southeast Asians sailed into the finals day of the World Superseries tournaments in Denmark and France.
As soon as our journey to get to the Olympics was over, we relaxed. We kept our focus, but there wasn't pressure. We reminded ourselves we just needed to enjoy playing. We just focused on playing our best. It didn't matter whether we were winning or losing. That wasn't important. Our performances improved and the results showed. We weren't really expecting anything and took it match by match, tournament by tournament.
Before season's end, Bodin and Nipitphon climbed to a high of number 15 in the world rankings. The Thai pair are now set on harnessing their newfound confidence as they go in hunt of their first major crown.
This year, I hope to move our ranking up to the top 10 or top 5. I would like to take each match at a time, especially when I'm playing at the bigger tournaments. I need to focus game after game before I can aim to win the tournament title. Right now, my goal is to win at the All England Championships.
Our confidence is definitely building. We've already defeated some of the top pairs. Against the world number 1 duo, we played all the way to 3 games and almost won. We've also defeated the world number 2 pair and the All England champions, so we need to keep believing in ourselves. I don't want to be overconfident, but let's just say we want to win all 13 World Super Series tournaments.
Conquering every title is perhaps a long stretch, but it's hard to fault athletes who set the bar high, especially for this Thai pair, who at the moment are enjoying what they do best. And as 2017 shapes into another action-packed year for world badminton, Bodin Isara and Nipitphon Phuangphuapet could just be among those making the headlines.